Greetings. Welcome back, family. Welcome back to the journey with Hamptonio. We still on this journey. It's 2023, y'all, and things are happening, and actually things are happening all over the planet. I've been away for a while, been on a little vacation and preparing for some things, and in the month of December, and now we're in January, and I promise to bring you some good and exciting and interesting information. I don't have time for anything else. Frankly, we don't have time for anything else because there's too many things going on. Too many things going on. So I'm going to start you on this trail with a short clip. I don't know how long this will last, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. It depends how fast I get through it. And please bear with me on the technicality of this. I'm still new on this streamline. So I'll be sharing a couple things. So it might take me a minute to get through the shared screen and come out of it and come back to video with you. So bear with me, please. Here. But the but it's an interesting topic, about this thing about melanin, who we are. If you go back to, if you have seen some of our previous videos with Dr. Moore, that's his specialty in dealing with melanin. And I ran across an interesting clip that had Jane Elliott in it. Jane was the white lady that always talked about the brown eyes and the blue eyes, and pretty much giving our European brothers and sisters, white people, a wake up call about some of their, implicit biases and prejudices and things like that. So she's been a front runner in reference to that for a long, long time. So it was an interesting video that I ran across her, and it actually started connecting the dots too on some things that I was putting together about this whole thing in melanin and color and race and some of the things that we see in front of us, and to make sure we look at it with a critical eye, have a critical analysis, and do a critical analysis about this whole thing called melanin and this dark matter. Like my boy, Dr. Moore wrote a couple books called Dark Matter, Dark Secrets, and Pigment Power, and it's real, and it's funny how they got us, really feeling shame about this darkness and this color. You know, Only 5 to 10% of the things that you see in the heavenly body in the cosmos that's lit. That's only 5 to 10%. They say the rest of it is dark matter. For our Bible goers and Bible studiers, it talks about before there was light, there was what? Darkness. Everything come out the darkness. You come out the darkness of the womb of your mother. So that blackness, they talk about that triple black, that dark black, the Kabbalah stone, black. See, black is, but they taught us to hate this blackness. For what reason? I just was listening into something today with Brother Phil Scott was talking, and he had this Indian woman on and talking about the whole uh, black situation, the whole Brahma system, Hindu system over in India, and how the system has convinced them, pretty much all their lives to hate that darkness and to cause a racial divide amongst themselves. And it's not just in India. You can see it in Hispanics, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, all of them. See, my screen just went out, y'all. So I'm gonna get it back on. Give me a second here. All of them is dealing with this thing of blackness. Why? Where? How come this divide? You know, is continuing. Between this whole little color thing. What is going on with this blackness? So for someone to go through that much trouble, it must be something real important about this melanin piece. And so with this video, uh, Sister Elliott kind of accentuated some things and talked about some things. And I'm gonna piggyback on what she was saying and bring you a couple pieces that yeah, I think it's some point of interest. So let me see if I can get to Sister Elliott's video. So I say bear with me here. Bear with me here. See if I can share this video. I tried to practice it a little bit, y'all. But we gonna get it together. We gonna make it work. There's a couple spots on this I want you guys to check out. So let me see here. We're gonna make this happen. All righty. Okay, here we go. Y'all listen.
Did to me. People, get over it. By the time these young people get ready to have children, will realize those gets larger and larger. More and more sunlight is allowed to enter our environment, and more people who have pale faces are going to die of melanoma, which is a skin cancer that you get if you don't have enough melanin in your skin. Let me tell you, people of color are going to be very much in demand for reproduction in the future. And mark my words, you're laughing now, but you wait 20 years. You won't even have to wait 20 years because they're going to see that if they want their children, their grandchildren, and their great-grandchildren to survive, they're going to have some melanin in their skin. That's the way it's going to be. This is going to take care of itself.
So we are already seeing Mrs. Jane Elliott's prediction coming to reality. We are seeing a shift in action in real time. Check out this next clip and I'll meet you guys at the end.
Black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Okay, can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that answer. That's actually a really unique answer.
So it's not going to be about the personality of black men.
All
Neither
right,
is
guys,
it going
I'm
to
moving
be.
on up to this other piece that I thought was kind of interesting. This sister chiming in, and she says a couple things that I thought was interesting, and something that I kind of tapped on my radio show one time, and I was kind of discounted a little bit as being.
Happening.
Crazy things are happening. Crazy things are happening.
Wake up, black people.
Uh-huh.
White people don't love us. They need us to survive. Have you seen how the media and even our social medias are promoting interracial couples? Why is it that the interracial couples videos always go viral? It's because they are, pushing this agenda. And, we are thinking that these people love us. They don't love us. They know that they need us for them to survive. They need us for their children and children's children to survive. It is not love. Please, black people, get this. It is not love. These people are calculated and they need you. And stop giving them children. Stop bearing their children. Bear black children.
Nah, guys, I thought that was kind of interesting. Let me get myself back on the screen here and work through this. Yes, yeah, I thought that was very, very interesting, to say the least. And some things that they've been and we've been taught, about this blackness. Because we always used to talk about, how, folks are shooting stuff in their lips to make it big and, you know, and how they in tanning boots trying to get the color and things like that. But it seems weird on the opposite side that, while they're trying to do some things, they putting out derogatory stuff about black folks and making it look ugly and bad. Like I was saying about what Phil Scott had, the Indian girl on. She was talking about since she was about 11, you know, using bleaching cream. Okay, this is what some of these societies is doing now, using bleaching cream, to lighten themselves up, for opportunities. And we went far for that because you remember back in the day, all you saw on TV was, Lena Horne type of people who was light skinned, and everybody was dark was put to the side and back, So over in Africa, when I went over there, they got big billboards up there, promoting using bleaching cream. This was the opportunity, and this is the mindset and the psychosis that they have set in our minds as people. So since they, are in control of the dollar in the sense, so they're going to give and award those opportunities, to people that are light skinned. And that's what you're going to see. And that's what you're going to see in your subconscious and conscious mind is light skinned people with these opportunities. So that's what people do then. They're going to try to lighten themselves up in order to advance themselves. You got to think about that. If you're having a hard time taking care of yourself, you know, and your behind is out and you need to eat, you're going to do what you have to do, just like with the young folks and drug boys out here now. Why folks in our neighborhood was admiring in a pimp and a player and a drug because they had things, they got attention, they were surviving, they was eating. It's the same thing. Folks are eating. Hey, if you be light skinned, you can eat better than somebody that jet back. Who set those standards up and why? And guys, if you only knew that having this skin is the best thing that you can have. The best thing. It was a part of the beginning. Before there was light, there was darkness. Darkness, guys. So, and we can back that up with some things here. I'm gonna try to get through a couple things. Hey, let's go biblically on it. Let's go to the Bible a little bit. When Malachi, with the last book of the Old Testament, last book of Old Testament. Let me see if I can get to that. Yeah, like I said, bear with me, guys. You know, bear with me. Let me see what we can do. See what we can find here to talk about this thing, melanin and our sun and what's going on today. It's all relative, to what's going on this planet. And this is, you know, in the book of Malachi. You see that right there? Jesus is the Son. S-U-N, y'all, not S-O-N, of righteousness who brings healing. Look at the first thing it says. For behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, when all the arrogant and all the evildoer are stubble, will be stubble. Okay? The day that is coming shall set them ablaze, said the Lord of hosts, so that it will leave them neither root nor branch. But for you who fear my name, the Son, S-U-N, of righteousness, shall rise with healing in his wings. You shall go out leaping like calves from the stall, and you shall tread down the wicked, for they will be ashes under the soles of your feet on the day when I act, said the Lord of hosts. What is he talking about there? That's an interesting statement coming from Malachi. Actually, doing what? Prophesizing. Okay. Prophesizing. Okay, and talking about the future in that day. Now we having issues with the sun. The sun, you know, primarily is our friend. Is our friend with melanin. You know, the sun, as our ancestors looked at it, was the all life giver. If the sun didn't come up tomorrow, guess what? Most organisms and everything on this planet would cease to exist. In every indigenous culture that you can pretty much think of, they revered the sun. And mistakenly, how our Europeans interpret that, and because we, don't study and we're not privy to history and being pretty much involved with just trying to survive and not being critical thinkers about anything, you know, we take that for what they say. It's great, going along right with the program and not understanding and knowing, what's actually going on. And they teaching us that, you know, this skin and this color it's nothing that is working for you in the best of your interest. So we have to be better equipped and understand that most of the information that we are obtained is coming from the viewpoints and the narrative of folks who don't necessarily have your best interest at heart. We have to get to that point and understanding this whole thing but it's talked about the sun coming back with righteousness. You see, and like I'm saying, all indigenous people revered that sun. It's something very important. And we didn't think of it, we looked at it as an aspect of the creator, not as God, but the aspect of the creator. That's why I was trying to go with that, you know, and they respected it. Every time you look at the creator, you ain't got to be looking up at the sky, because God's life force energy is in everything. It's in everything. The Kabbalion talked about God is the all, and the universe is mental. So are we just existing in the mentality of the creator? You know what I'm saying? So he can't be inside of the creation. He's outside of the creation. So is this just a mentalization of the creator itself, which is the macrocosmic of it, and we just the microcosmic of what is going on? Is that how some are starting coming to understanding that we can create by him making us in his image through our thoughts and how we do things and talk about things with intent? Something Billy Crystal just was saying the other day, quit praying and begging, create things and make things happen. Hey, I want this to happen. This is going to happen. You putting that kind of energy out there in the universe. So saying all that to say, about this old melanin piece. So you see right there, it says the sun coming back and burning up folks, burning up the unrighteous folks. You see? And I thought that was very interesting. Now this sun being this whole life giver that we talk about. Let me go to another little piece. Now see what our dear European brother is doing. The same one that is going around trying to vaccinate everybody. Because he is so full of, his heart is so full of wanting to help the people. You know what I mean? And you remember Jane Elliott said that, you know, uh, it's gonna come a time where you're gonna be a hot commodity, you know. And the point I wanted to make when I was dismissed a little bit on the radio, when I said, "Dang, seems very interesting. You're seeing a lot of this mixed couple stuff going on television." And I brought it out on my radio show about 4 or 5 years, about 4 years ago. And my co-host and another guest on the line was saying, "Oh, maybe that's just a marketing strategy. It's just a marketing strategy to appeal to both." And I'm like, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Something is going on with that. Now, when you start, this is another topic in the subject, topic in the subject that I'm talking about. When you start going in and talking about like I said, the population is decrease around the world of the European population, having problems having babies and things of that nature. So now at this point, it's about saving your seed. And you see little tidbits in the movies. Hey, we get out, you know, folks trying to transform their consciousness, into different people, and quiet as it kept. This now, I'm not talking conspiracy stuff, but it's there, and I've seen it. They are set. Their mind is set on trying to change the conscientiousness, or take the consciousness of a person and put it in this machine. They are hell bent on putting our consciousness into artificial intelligence. That's where we're going with this, because it's about saving the seed. And we all heard the stories about Bill Gates talking about the population control. I just seen the video. I should have loaded that one up too, where they was in a forum talking about, yeah, and with the success of things that we're doing, we might reduce the population down to 50%, and people in the audience were clapping. We're clapping. Why? With the things that's going over in Africa right now, we have 7% of the whole continent vaccinated. Okay, 7%. Okay, and some of the countries said they ain't even, like Uganda, say we ain't got no problem with COVID, but they still hell bent on vaccinating the whole doggone continent. Why? I encourage you guys to go pull up Dr. John Campbell is talking about. He took the vaccine, and he's talking about some things. You know, why are we having all these excess deaths in America, in Europe, in Australia? You see, we walk around with these blinders on, and I just don't understand what some of this stuff is right in front of your face. I used to argue with some of my friends in debate. I said, "Come on, man, we supposed to be advanced over here. How come we having more issues and deaths than anybody on the planet?" Here it is, India has 1.38 or 1.4 billion people. How many deaths? 400 something thousand. Okay. Now we got 300 something million people here. You almost got a billion more people. And if you look at the ratio and the percentage of that 400 some thousand with our compared to our million and still growing, you know, that's something to really think about. They say China wasn't given the real numbers. China had 1.4 billion. They wasn't even at 10,000. But here we are at a million. Should we be asking questions? What are y'all doing different from what we doing? But they still want to go around and jab everybody. So it's just something to think about. I'm just throwing it out there. We have to start thinking critically. This is the age of information, and this was all about. So here's this piece. Let me see if I can get to this, guys. I ain't gonna be able to read all this, but I'll just pretty much give you a little bit of it or what it's talking about. It's talking about our dear brother Bill Gates again. Okay, so I'm gonna try to give you both sides of this argument here. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna give you my conspiracy side of it first. Try to share this, and you probably can see here. You see about the. Let me see if I can move this up to give you the title. There we go, right there. A Bill Gates venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. Oh boy, what could go wrong with that? They say block the sun. Man, what are you talking about? Block the sun? You talking about the life giver to the whole planet? Well, is this his take on trying to deal with the carbon emissions and stuff here? What it say? Microsoft and billionaire Bill Gates is financially backing the development of the sun dimming technology that will eventually reflect the sunlight out of Earth's atmosphere, triggering a global cooling effect. A stratospheric controlled, perturbation experiment. Perturbation. Yeah, come on. What we doing here? Harvard scientists, okay? It aim to examine the solution by spraying a non-toxic calcium carbonate, CaCO3 dust into the atmosphere, a sun reflecting aerosol that may offset the effects of global warming. Okay, what we doing here? This is an experiment that they're talking about doing and setting these chemicals about 12 miles up. There it is, right there. Yeah, in Kiruna, Sweden, where the Swedish space corporation has agreed to help launch this balloon carrying scientific equipment 12 miles, okay, high. The launch will not release any stratospheric aerosols. Rather, it will serve as a test to maneuver the balloon to examine communications and operational systems. If successful, this could be the step towards the second experimental stage that will release a small amount of the CaCO3 dust into the atmosphere. What you playing around with it for if you think you ain't gonna use it? What you doing? What you doing this for? What's going on? Blocking the sun? Is it all, the question I'm saying, is it all about um, the climate situation? Or are we going back to the Malachi there, where they know with the decreasing ozone layers that we're getting more ultraviolet rays there, and who is it going to affect the most? So is this a whole nother angle of saving a certain seed here? What's going on? You know, you seen him on TED Talk talking about as a part of the equation to eliminate carbon emissions was to get rid of people. Okay, all right. So is this another ploy to do that, or is this really about carbon emissions, or is this about saving some folks? Why you think Proud Boys and all the rest of them, is in an uproar for what's going on right now around it. They see, the census, the European population in this country dropped down 17%. and widening. So if they don't do something now to take control of everything, they're going to lose it. There's data out here. If you don't have a procreation rate of more than 1 point, I believe, 38, there's no getting back. That culture will cease to exist in the near future. Europe is the combination of most European countries are like 1.8. They said there's a point of no return when it gets to that point. So what are you going to do? There's been all kind of information out there about them trying to curve the birth rate in Africa in all kind of ways. So is that what we dealing with here, people? Is that what we dealing with? Like I said, I just trying to make you think a little bit, y'all. And not get caught up in the Super Bowl and all the rest of that stuff. All where it totally consumes you like that, and you're not really paying attention to some of the things that are going on right in your face. See, I don't necessarily have time for most of all of that. To be honest with you, you would have to remind me that kind of stuff is going on right now. I'm too interested in other things. There's some great things on there. I was going to show you a little. I'm not going to get into it. It's a fact check. You go into yourself. It's there. Uh, Folks trying to discount, because people was harping on this and was tripping on Bill Gates. Oh no, he's not really doing that. He's just doing this experiment, not necessarily blocking the sun. He's just checking to see, if the stratosphere, if some things can be done, if these aerosols can be done to actually eliminate climate change and all that kind of stuff. Come on, man, you're messing around with some stuff. My point is that, hey, if you wasn't so doggone greedy, you don't have to worry about it, because there's been numerous ideas out there to deal with energy and fuel. We go way back to Tesla. What happened to him? They ridiculed him, and he died a poor person. Anybody who came in here in this country about doing and changing the way we do things as far as our fuel and our energy, other than oil, they was out of there. This government would go so far as to buy the invention, okay? Buy the invention and sit it on the shelf because of dollars and cents. They're not trying to give up over. So this fool is ready to destroy the doggone planet because he making some dollars. And any idiot should know that you can't just keep taking something out of the ground and you think it's never going to be an issue. Cause and effect, my people. Cause and effect. You can't. That could be the blood of the earth. That black gold that they're taking out of the planet. It could be the blood of the earth, and you keep extracting that, and you think it's never going to have an effect on the planet, and you doing this just because of dollars and cents. I'm finna go crazy on y'all. I'm finna say something. Y'all gonna be crazy. I don't think it's far fetched that we've been invaded by somebody else. Some folks ain't from this planet or something, because it don't make logical sense that you would tear up the place where you live, where your prodigy is going to be. Looking into the future. Look at the stuff that is going on. You're going to deny that, and you're going to keep moving forward just because of dollars and cents? Don't make no sense. You got a young brother over in Africa, South Africa, that's doing what Tesla was doing. He's taking the energy out of air and lighting up villages with it. Okay, flying a helicopter. Just look up. Just say South African guy invented uh, 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 plane. Now he invented. I mean, he using electricity out of air to fund to deal with electricity in the place of electricity. They tried to kill this dude. Tried to poison. They tried to get to him and kill him. You see, this is what we dealing with, folks. Here. And we can't be sitting here in this mirage and walking around, with our heads in the air talking about nothing. This the kind of stuff that's going on. And we sitting up here and we going to be subject to this situation. I hate when they always talk about mankind's thirst for this, that, and that. They ain't mankind. They ain't black folks going around doing this stuff. to the planet. And ain't indigenous people going around doing this stuff to the planet. They always respected the planet and tried to live in harmony with the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. All right? So don't include me into that mankind's curiosity for this and curiosity for that. You know, most indigenous people let stuff be and let stuff alone. That's what they do. They leave it alone and live in harmony with it and understand the power and the grace of God. See, it's a difference. So my family, it's for you to look at and pay attention to. I'm gonna be bringing you some videos. We got Brother Smalls coming. I know I've been talking about it, and we got a whole host of others that we're gonna be bringing to the channel time to time. This is one of my little on the trail segments. I didn't mean for it to run this long, but sometimes I could be long-winded. But I have some things to say. I've been watching and paying attention for a long time, brothers, and I'm not by no means claim to know it all, but I keep my ears open, bro. I know some people that, oh, Lynn, you think you know Hamptonio, you know this, some people that's close to me because I be commenting on different things and subjects. But look, guys, the reason why I come to you this time because I pay attention to a lot of stuff. I haven't seen a football game that I came home and turned the TV on since Brian Cybers for the Cleveland folks. That was in the 80s or something when he was playing. Basketball game either. One time in recent times watched that, came home and sat home and to turn on the television to watch a basketball game. I don't think I did it then. I think I was out when LeBron them and Cleveland was going to take the championship. I just said, well, I'll be a part of the history. At least I've seen it. Other than that, I don't pay no attention to all that. I'm listening to documentaries. I'm listening to information. I'm listening to the things about who we are and what we are and what our purpose here as a planet and the things that's going on to black folks that we should be paying attention to that is keep putting us in the back seat and trying to actually wipe us out from the planet. Like something Dr. Henry Clark said, we don't have no friends. You see how they took this, like I said in the beginning, this whole black thing has been going on and separating people within their own culture, the dark skins and the light skins. How they get set up all over the planet like that? See, I'm curious for that. I was curious of what's going on in our hospitals where they're going and they're booming. You got younger and younger people dying, of ailments that you shouldn't even get, but how you getting them at 10, 12, 15 years old, more and more. And pharmaceuticals making dollars all over the place. That don't make you curious. That don't make you want to research. That don't make you want to change your habits and your ways and doing things. Cancer's running rapid. If we talk about the sudden illnesses that's going on all over the planet right now, what's going on? I mean, that'll make you curious. That'll make you say, hold on, let me get a hold of what's going on here. I used to give an analogy about black folks. Black folks, is sitting comfortable on the train that is rolling down the track 500 miles an hour and don't have a conductor. We on there watching or listening to elevator music while the train is rolling down the track, not paying attention to nothing. Don't understand there ain't no conductor there, dude. It's gonna crash. Something's gonna crash in a minute. Be cautious. We should be critical thinkers. They don't put that crack in the community. They treat the system like a crackhead, like you would treat a crack person, a person that's just dealing with a substance, illegal substance like that. Because they came and brought you anything, guess what? You be looking at it with a critical eye. Where you get this from? Okay, what's your motive behind this? Come on, you got hundreds of years of history that you can pull back on and see that you need to be looking at things with a critical eye. So love yourself, love this melanin. Thank God you got this melanin. And most everybody have it. We just got a higher grade of melanin. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, this blackness. The key component to all living matter is carbon. And what color is carbon? Black. So love yourself. We got to control our learning institutions and tell our stories and tell our truths. That's what it's all about. That's why we have to use platforms like this to tell the truth. There's many, many platforms out there that are coming upon some good information. We got to get out of that television. We got to get in some books and some information that deals with health, wealth, knowledge. Knowledge is wisdom. When Solomon wanted to pray, we say, pray for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And all the rest would come. And most important, we can't fix our problem with the same capitalist system that got us there. We got to do something different. You put something together, everybody want to get paid, want to get paid, want to get paid. Dude, some things you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to sacrifice. If you want to play catch-up basketball, you're going to have to sacrifice. It ain't always about dollars and cents. You ain't going to sit up here one day, meet your maker, and ask, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that? Oh, I was living in the capitalist system, so I had to make money. Really? That's what you're going to tell the creator? That's going to get you through those pearly gates that you planning to go to? You got a lot of people talking about it ain't about it. Well, you don't have to be poor. Just the love of money take you to hell. And the ones who's in these positions to do something, but can't do it because of their position, fund the programs that are doing something, promoting our community, doing things to help. If you can't be on the front line, fund those people that are doing something that is out there with boots on the ground trying to do something. We got to get it together. We got to get all our economics and everything together. Folks just coming in, taking all our money. I'm saying our family dollars and all the rest of them, the Arabs, everybody. How we allow that as men. And our babies starving and hungry, and they taking care of this. How we do that? See what we've been busted down to? Come on. And then when somebody come like myself and try to say, hey man, there's another way. Let's go back to what we used to be, our culture. Even the days in the 60s here. We got our parents that just letting, being friends with the kids and letting them just do anything. You got males, wanting to teach their sons how to even put on jumper cables of a car, teach our young girls how to cook, and they just go along with that stuff. We falling apart. It's a shame. But there's light, because our ancestors say, you go all the way back to Nostradamus talked about the blacks is going to take over and rule, and they trying to circumvent that. My good brother, Dr. Whitaker, say, hey, all we got to do is survive, because, just by our existence and their decrease in population, we going to, just by default, we might get it. So you got to hang on and survive. But you best believe they're doing best what they can to even that foretelling future up, because they ain't trying to give it up without a fight. It's just inevitable. You can't hold down the original for so long. You can't hold it but so long. So my family, again, I know I overran. I'm sorry, but I appreciate you watching and share this there. I want you to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and hit the notification button. We need you guys, to hold in, because I'm going to be bringing you some real talk. Because I spend a lot of times, 3, 4, 5,000. That's my second go round of books. I lost my first batch of $3,000 or $4,000 worth of book. I'm on my second batch. My brother got about $30,000 in his library of books. So I spend the time listening and reading, venturing out to Africa and talking to people and associating with some of the greatest scholars, black scholars in this country. That I call up and dial up and they say, hey, what's up, Hamptonio? So I ain't wasting my time. These people been going to Africa, for 50-some years. Don't you think they got something to say? Tavis Smiley can't say that. Louis Gates can't say that. Reverend Al Sharpton can't say that. These folks been going there all their life, speak the language. So don't you think you need to listen to what they may have to say? Come on. Don't you think it's strange that you never see these folks on Oprah or all the rest of those other platforms? Don't you think it's strange when you talk about that in Black history? Because they're not conforming to that have baked history that you getting served to you every day. We still finding out things that they don't lie to us about. So talk to some folks who's not on the payroll at some of these universities that is telling the truth. And even some white ones as well is telling the truth. J. Anthony West. Look up some of Gerald Massey's books. That's a difficult read, but it's a bunch of white scholars out here that are telling the truth as well. So let's get on the journey. Let's make this happen, my people. I'm only doing it because I care. I can't sit back and just not say nothing. I've been doing my radio show for over 16 years. We started this YouTube channel and another platform. So let's subscribe and stay on this journey, y'all. Because it's a long journey and it's going to be a rough journey. Let's hang in there. We got to take care of our mind, body, and spirit. We got to take care of it all. Got to feed them all in order for true health and wealth to take place. Love you guys. Stay strong and keep your eyes open. And stay on this journey with me. Later.